Good afternoon, everyone. Barbara Derrick here with day 16. I called it Dreams and Lino Art of the 30-Day Creative Challenge. Oh, mountains of experiences this very day. So I started out with, I want to provide you, let's do a design. And dun, 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 dun. So I started off, I got this design, and I was thinking to myself, the design, basically what I wanted to do is like texture, and you use a brayer to roll on, and I come up with this. That's going to have to wait. It is so important for me to do something before I come on, and this is a new material. It's children's sponge paper, and you can make ink stamps with this. And basically what you would do with this, and here's an extra for you today, is draw the design one layer. So the first layer might be a square, because say you're going to do a diamond. You cut your diamond out to your square, and then you glue it on, and you make layers so that when you dip it in the acrylic paint or the ink, that when you press down on it, it makes a stamp, an ink stamp, right? Well, this is what I was thinking when I did this, and I looked at the demonstration. Now, the demonstration showed a styrofoam plate. I don't like styrofoam, okay? Usually when I do a form of art, I try to recycle it, and if I have styrofoam, yes, definitely, I would use it. But if I'm going to use it, then I would keep it for a very long time, wash it and that kind of thing, and store it, and create a design that I can put on the background of my canvases. It's kind of like mixed media. It is mixed media, actually. And I love this because some of the designs can be very intricate. Okay? So then that didn't work when I pressed it down. It wasn't a very good example of this design, and I'm going to work on the design. And I get all these great ideas. I wanted to do something with plaster with you, and well, there you go again. This morning I couldn't open the bucket because there's a special way to... You ever try to open up huge buckets of like filler or paint, or even when you get the screwdriver in there, you're fiddling. So this was me. I was okay. What? Idea number 3. As instructors or teachers, what's the next one? A, B? Okay, I come up with C. And as I was looking for my lino cutter, which is also buried because of my studio's, it has only so much space. I've labeled most things. I haven't used the lino cutter for a while, so that's in the way. But I came across something, and finally, this is fail forward. And I bring to you today the conversation about dreams, and I'm going to show you a little bit of lino art and how that can create designs. I was looking also at plaster and finding out the trick to doing roses and designs on drywall. And it's not that hard. I thought it was complicated. I did a canvas, and the mistake I did, and don't add glue. I added glue. It was 1 part white glue to 3 parts, I think it was plaster, and you mix it up. Well, when I did that on my canvas, it's really hard to sand. And the trick here is to use another material, which I'm going to show you today because it was drying out, and I'll tell you a little bit more about that in a few minutes. Dreams. 2.5 years ago, I was in Atlanta, and it was at a conference called Turning Point. And we did this visualization. And in my visualization, I aspire, and I have been working to develop my speaking skills, my communication, and my visualization, which is standing up in front of an audience, holding a mic, and I could see the lights flooding down. But it wasn't just about speaking. It was about how I wanted to present to the world the dream of not just art, but connecting each other. And I could see the lights coming down on me and shimmering because they were like strobe lights. And I turn around and my mic turned into a paintbrush. And I was just creating this wonderful scene, and everybody was participating with me. And I just allowed this visualization because I had asked them, this is not only my dream, but this is yours. Add to it. And they were able to, on a computer device or whatever, anyway, put their design on this huge canvas that I was working on. And it would show up, and I would trace it with the paint. And that dream was 2.5 years ago, and I have an opportunity to do something like that. I am not joking. Anyways, I'll leave that sit with you, because when we begin to believe in our gifts and believe in ourselves, despite the chatter on the outside world and lack of support or encouragement, I want to say to you that all that doesn't matter. And I know why these elders say to us, at times they say, oh, don't worry about them. Or there's a certain age where we thought that everybody was looking at us at 20. And then at 30 or 40, isn't it go something like we thought they were looking at us, but they were busy with their own thing. And by the time we get 50 or 60, we realize that nobody, that wasn't the case. It was something that we fabricated because of our fear, perhaps, or something we were working on. And so I think there are layers of that. I've arrived to a point where I believe in what I want. I get on fire when I'm able to share and see participation in what I'm doing. And to give back, to show you how to do some of these things. And the private part is the coaching. The coaching is not me speaking, by the way. For those of you that don't know what coaching is, go on YouTube and look it up. Coaching there are two separate things, coaching and mentoring. In the art world, when I'm mentoring, yes, I'm providing guidance, but coaching is a whole separate business, and it's set up with business questions that help you. And I'm able to know these questions because I've been through it. Anyway, so those are two different things. And what I come on here to do is to bring you inspiration. And inspiration helps motivation. And at this time when it's minus, I think it's 21 today, with the wind, we want to do our best to keep ourselves busy. And we're also doing the social distancing, and I'm making sure my mic is up. I hope it wasn't up. I hope you could hear me. If you can hear me, someone drop a thumbs up or something. Okay, I fixed that. So it's about inspiration and motivation. It's trying something new. And while I was thinking about dreams and the capacity to visualize or to hear it perhaps we're the ones that need an audio to go into meditation. Or maybe we're the people that have to feel it and listen to music and visually take in all those different things around us. We each have different ways we learn, right? So I wanted to follow up with a quote here. Okay, number 1. Character cannot be developed in ease and quiet. Only through experience of trial and suffering can the soul be strengthened, ambition inspired, and success achieved. By Helen Keller. I love that. The trial and suffering. Well, the suffering goes along with embarrassment. This morning I was planning, and I can't come on. I'm not going to come on. I don't want to show up. How many of you have had that too, when you don't feel you're ready? And then there's something inside of me that said, I'm ready. I've got the stuff. Let's go. So here we go. We're going to get down to 11 minutes. I was trying to make this a little shorter into what I would like to show you today. Okay, popping over to the okay, this is a design, and as you can see, it's weathered. I've used it a few times. I've used it for inking. I don't like inking because when you go to put a layer of color over that, it needs to be sealed or it smudges. And I like to do layers. So if it's a black, I love the black because it really pops bright colors. Okay? And today, what I'm going to do is, later on, this design is going to go on here, and I've got to figure out how to cut. Now, this is foam back lino, and I've used a very small pair of scissors. They were embroidery scissors. You can also use an X-Acto knife, okay? There is another art where you would use this. What'll happen is I'm going to do this one with you today, and possibly tomorrow or another day I'll do the other inlay, okay? So this is going to give you an embossed type of pattern. This is polyfill, and it comes in a tube, and it's interior decorating, an interior decorating paste that comes in a tube. It's really expensive, and for those of you that know what this paste is like, once you open it, then the tube eventually starts to dry out, and it's annoying. What I would suggest, if this is happening, is cut the tube. And what I've done is I've added alcohol. And this is, it made it like pudding again, right? I think this tube is probably $8.99 or more. So I've actually retrieved it with just ordinary rubbing alcohol. It makes me wonder, and I'm going to sample making my own paste. It's something that I was intrigued about this morning. Okay, so you've got your piece here, right? And you've got your polyfill. I'm only going to do a little bit of this for you. And you go like this. Okay. You would go all the way around, and you can level it out if you wish. And now what you want to do is you want to lift this, okay? I'd also like to say that if polyfill is too expensive for you right now, I do believe you could get a nice big box of plaster that you mix water, but make it gummy like I just did here. And for this kind of art, you can add that white glue that I mentioned. And then you're going to lift this up, peek underneath before you take it right off. And just to make sure that your lino, like this is going to be gummed up. What I have right here, while I'm doing the demonstration, I don't want it to harden on my lino, is I'm going to soak it, and while I'm talking to you, but this has got to dry now. And you can imagine that you can do this on your wall as well. And when it dries, then if you wish, you could use your sandpaper. And hang on here. I want to close this lid while I'm talking, while I'm ahead of myself here before it hardens. This used to be created by potatoes. When I was a kid, I would carve out designs and I would ink. This is somewhat like the same way. Like I said, you could mix with plaster, ordinary interior decorating plaster, with water and a little bit, I think it's maybe, I would go 1 part glue and 3 parts plaster, and be careful when you mix it, but make it that same gumminess, like pudding. I'm going to wait till this hardens, and tomorrow I will come back with some more instruction about what we could do with this. Oh, there we go. Ta-da! So if you've liked what I've showed you, like and share. And also tomorrow would be day 17. I'm going to play with that design and create for tomorrow. And tomorrow I would like to do some inking. And remember, what I'm showing you can be done together from long distance learning, together with your family and friends. Just tips and tricks to inspire you and the kids. I'm sure you can make inking blotters with either potatoes, although I like my potatoes, so you can do styrofoam. And remember, I'm not much for styrofoam, but if it works, like you notice this plate is styrofoam. You can make stamps with that, and all I need to do is, like I did here, is trace the design with a pen or a pencil as hard, and what it'll do is it'll create a stamp, and then they can put the paint on it. And I have this okay, now to push down. It doesn't work for me. I'm old timer. I guess I just use my fists, or I've used the bottom of an acrylic bottle. Yeah, because it works. Okay, so your kids also have access to dollar store goodies like this. And I've got you up and away, and like I said, if you like this demonstration, and I left you food for thought with quote about dreams and the possibilities. The possibility of your dream is fired up when you not only visualize it, but we have to do. So when I'm down here, I visualize all kinds of things about the art studio, working with people from all over the world, and the list goes on. Because I have a message that's bigger than I am. It's not just for me. So I hope you like this. Like and share, and if you have any questions, drop them down below. And I hope everybody is doing well, and love you to pieces. Catch you everyone later.